All right. Let's get the desktop audio off here. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Soul Commodore here. We're going to be working on this painting again. Welcome back to this chilly, snowy day. I don't know if it's snowing where you are, but we had a nice little snowfall last night, and it's still snowing now. So, yeah, this is a bit of a snowy day stream. So yeah, today we're going to be working on some more details on this painting. We're going to be working on this building a bit, and then we're going to start putting in our van here. So I think that should work out pretty well. So with that being said, let me load up my image here, and let me know if you can hear me okay, because I had my computer running, you know, the music in the background, the desktop audio, and then it just stopped working. I don't know why. Like the video didn't stop, nothing muted. I just moved my computer, and then all of a sudden the speakers just stopped working. So who knows? But without further ado, I'm going to bring up my reference image, and then we will get started. So, where is it? I have to run all the music today, I guess, off of my older laptop, so as I do stuff on it, it may skip every once and again, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. I also have my laptop that's actually running OBS in a different spot, which should make it easier for me to interact with chat. This time, like if I'm facing the painting, it's over to my left instead of behind me. So I should be able to pick up on stuff easier this time. So we'll bring this cord over so that I don't trip on it, because that wouldn't be good. And we've got our reference image up. So now we can actually start painting. So you got our paint brushes. Let me grab my palette. I guess I could put some more paint on this palette too. But I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday so far. It's like I said, I got up this morning really early to go to the gym because I couldn't sleep. And I get out to my car and it's covered in snow, and everything else is covered in snow. And for those of you who don't know me very well, snow is actually my second favorite type of weather. First being rain, of course. I love rain. Rain is my favorite weather. But snow is a close second. A very close second. Okay, we got our brushes here that I don't need. I need some red. And some blue. And finally, a little bit of yellow. Alright, so got all this together. So I think what we're going to start with again is I'm going to do some details on this building here. But first, I know I keep teasing you with starting the painting. I'm going to actually stretch this out a bit, rehang it so that there are less wrinkles in it. So as I said before, when you hang a painting on a wall to work on, you do get wrinkles because of the weight of the paint and just the weight of the canvas. Gravity does its thing. So it starts to sag a little bit. So we'll just take care of that right now. Finally up in this corner. Come on, there we go. Cool. All right. So for doing details on that building, we're going to want a flathead brush, and that one's got too many spurs on it. That's a round brush. This one will be good, I think. But yes, per the title of the stream today, we are going to actually work on doing the van. The old, decrepit, rusted out van that's going to be sitting right here. I'm going to be working on that today. Alright, so what are we looking at in terms of this building? So, I'm going to grab some white, a little bit of black, mix in a little bit of yellow, and we're just going to come across the top here. With this slightly darker concrete color. It's funny, because, you know, this is how timing always tends to work out for me. I couldn't get an appointment at the garage that I wanted before the weekend to put my winter tires on. So I said, well, it's okay. Like, I'm looking at the forecast. It's not supposed to rain, or it's not supposed to snow this weekend, so I'm fine getting my tires on Monday. And then of course it snows today. Thankfully I have all seasons that are, you know, pretty good. Not as good as winter tires, but they'll get me through today. And they'll get me to the garage tomorrow, but it was just sort of like, of course, you know? Of course. But you know, that's just how things happen sometimes. No, I was considering making this little error here a utility box, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to cover it as best as I can. Make this a straight line. And we'll do the same down below. Alright, so now based on this reference image, I'm going to have what looks like office windows. So I'm just going to put in a second line here. There we go. And just get some more paint on the brush. And then we'll continue with this. So I think because I do stream announcements on Instagram and Facebook mostly, but I think I'm going to take a page out of my buddy Jake from the Woods. He's here on Twitch. I'm gonna take a page from his book and actually start doing stream announcements on Twitter too, because I have an old Twitter account that I never really use anymore, but I can use it for that. So I think I'll do that. But to any American viewers, I hope you guys have a very fun Thanksgiving Sunday if you celebrate Thanksgiving. And if not, I still hope you have a fun Sunday. Oh, I need that a little bit darker. And I guess in the spirit of it, if you want to drop in the chat what your favorite Thanksgiving food, or what your favorite holiday food is, I guess. If you have like a get-together with loved ones, what's your favorite thing to eat? Yeah, that looks good. Then just reload the brush and then we'll do this side. Well, a little darker still. There we go. Sometimes the hardest thing to do in painting is keeping your colors consistent as you go. It's can be a difficult thing. Especially if you got something in the foreground that's blocking it. Now, had I been smarter, I probably would have done the details on this building before painting this light pole in the foreground, but you know what? I like a challenge. And this makes it more challenging. So. Okay, and we're gonna paint this darker wall on the back here. I'm not going to do so on the front of the building, but at the back here, because there's probably not going to be many office windows facing toward whatever's over here at the back of the building. Unless that's where they put the employees that they really don't like. But for my purposes, that's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to paint a break here. And here. Need a little bit more paint on the brush. I know myself, my favorite thing to eat at family gatherings is scalloped potatoes. I love scalloped potatoes. Especially the way my mom made them. My sister has the recipe somewhere. The exact recipe. But I love scalloped potatoes. They're my favorite type of potatoes, I think. There we go. All right. Okay, and we're just gonna continue on with this. Do a couple more strips. Excuse me while I'm crunching on the candy. Now the question is, do I want that actually to be a thicker strip of concrete? And I think I do, actually. I want it to come down to about there. And then you can't go wrong with some turkey, but I actually prefer ham to turkey. I always have. got to make this a bit thicker at the back here. Just come down a little more. There we go. I've said it before, I'll say it again. That track really makes me want to play Deltarune because there's like a track that plays when Susie gets really mean, and that track obviously is a lot more a lot more inviting, a lot more positive, I guess, than that track is. Especially because that track's also played with like an electric guitar lead. But the note combinations in terms of like the way they ascend is very similar. I still have to replay the second chapter actually because I didn't realize there was a hidden boss fight. I haven't watched any videos of the boss fight. I just read on Reddit that there was a secret boss fight just like in the first chapter. I don't know how to get it, so I'm just gonna have to go around searching, investigating everything, which I thought I had the first time, but clearly I hadn't. There we go. Alright, that's the thickness that I wanted. So now we'll continue with our second stripe. Because the windows actually aren't that big. Like, the second stripe's going to start right here. So, just going to grab another piece of candy. I have a satin mix, which is acting as my breakfast today. There we go. We're just going to come across again. Now, it would probably be easier to keep the spacing correct with a straight edge, but I have enough straight lines that I did with the straight edge that I can kind of freehand this, and it'll look okay, I think. Plus, like, I'm not too concerned with the spacing being 100% correct because, well, abstraction is coming with this painting, and who knows, might abstract over this building a little bit. So, it's not really going to matter what the spacing between the windows and the concrete looks like. There we go. That looks fine. I always wonder with you know, people who make chill hop and lo-fi beats and all that kind of stuff. I wonder if they're ever actually like stressed out. If they're actually like stressed out, because I remember in university years and years ago, I saw a skit on YouTube that I wish I could remember the name of the person who did it, but I can remember the skit. But it was a dude who made like really like the spiritual like yoga type music, and yet you pull back and he's like the most stressed person on the face of the planet in this skit. Like he's just super high strung, kind of paranoid, just has insomnia, just can't relax. I wonder if that video's still out there somewhere, but I know 19-year-old me found it funny. So I'm not sure if 31-year-old me will find it as funny, but it's weird how stuff like that changes over time as you get older and mature. Because there are videos that I saved on YouTube, you know, favorited way back in the day, that like if I scroll through all my favorites and get back to that time, it's like, why did I favorite this? This isn't funny. There's some stuff obviously that stands the test of time, but there's a lot of stuff that just I don't know what teenage me, 19-year-old me was thinking. Yo, RB Fox Spirit, how's it going? How's it going? How was your day? Things are going pretty well here. Sorry I didn't open your Whisper. I kept trying to, but I don't know, there was some sort of error that was letting me see your message, but it wouldn't let me like actually interact with it. But it finally did today. So, but yeah, I hope you're having a good day. We're just doing some small details on this building before we move on to the van. We're not going to completely deck out this building yet because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with the rest of it yet. I really just want to get to the van because I know exactly what I'm doing with that. And then we can always fill in finer details with this building later. All right. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're being productive with your early day. I've been getting up early lately too, much earlier than I usually get up, which I suppose is a good thing because I'm going to be starting a new job soon. And I should probably kind of get into the swing of getting up early to get ready for it. But yeah, and yeah, I was definitely gonna add you, most definitely. I got up early myself today because I couldn't fall back asleep and decided to go to the gym. And then when I got back, I shoveled our driveway because it snowed all night and it's still snowing now. So, and then I came in and did some dishes and then took a little nap and then got ready for the stream. So, looks like two of us are going to have productive mornings. Alright, we're getting close to the point with this painting that I don't want to work that too much, so I think that looks pretty good. Oh, thank you. It's a admin position at a government agency we have here, Service Canada. I'm just gonna be like doing paperwork type of stuff. Nothing too glamorous, but you know, it'll pay the bills. And I was working in a warehouse before, and I have absolutely nothing against warehouse work, because obviously you need people working in warehouses. I genuinely did enjoy that job because I enjoyed my coworkers, but I got to a point where it's like, okay, I'm entering my 30s. I'm not sure I want to retire in a job like this, just because, you know, one of the guys who was there was in his 60s, right? And I was like, I want to be able to lift 50-pound boxes when I'm 60 years old, but I don't want to have to do it. Otherwise, I lose my house, you know. So I figured if there was any time to make a change, it's now. And then the pandemic hit. So I decided, yeah, I'm definitely going to try and shift now. So, your cats woke you up. We used to have a cat here who would wake us up every once and again. So I understand that. But yeah, it's according to like, because I've had some conversations with the person who's going to be my supervisor, and she seems like a really nice person. So I think it'll be good. Fair. But yeah, I just, you know, like I said, you need warehouse workers, and actually, in a lot of places, warehouse workers are kind of the backbone of the company, because with the company I worked for, like, nothing got shipped out if not for us in the warehouse, you know, and we worked hard and took pride in that. But yeah, I didn't want my body to break down, even with all like going to the gym and trying to keep fit and all that. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be 60 years old and having to do that to pay a mortgage or anything like that. You know. And I figure, well, there's no time like the present. But it took me a long time to get this, because I left my previous job in like March of 2020. Well, I went on leave because of the pandemic, and then officially left the job in, I think it would have been September. So pretty much a year and a bit I've been looking for work. So thankfully I managed to find something, because I know some people aren't as lucky. They've been looking for a longer time. So I'm just kind of going around the border here, just shoring up these some lines. Trying to get rid of a little bit of white space that I see. Like I said, the nice thing about acrylic is that everything is very easily editable. So if anything looks off afterwards, just come back in and fix it. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's how I've always kind of viewed jobs. Like, I'll basically do any job as long as it's ethical. You know, that's important. And as long as it allows me time to, you know, be able to pursue my creative outlet. Because, like, if I couldn't do this, I had a job way back in retail. That by the end of the day I was just so tired that I didn't feel like painting. Like that year I really didn't create much work, and it was a bummer. So I'm just glad that you know, the warehouse job left me tired, but the hours were better because it was steady. The retail job was shift work, so you know, you never knew when you would have to. I mean, they would post a schedule, but then you might get called in. You know, and that was a chore. And this job is also like steady hours, which is nice. So, but I appreciate that. Yeah, and yeah, it wasn't very imaginative. I mean, you're just kind of packing boxes with product, but it was kind of nice in that way because it allowed for a lot of time to talk to my coworkers, and you know, they were cool guys. I do miss them. They were good guys to work with. All right. I think we're just about done doing the details on this building, at least as far as I want to go with the details. Yeah, I think we're pretty close. I should probably make that a straight line, shouldn't I? Yeah, based on what I'm seeing outside, I might have to shovel the driveway again. Do you get snow where you're at, RV? I think that's gonna be it for now for that. Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Yeah, I think it's important to have that kind of outlook, no matter what you're doing. Like that, there's stuff that you can take out of it, even if it's something that you don't particularly enjoy. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I usually don't like to shovel until it stops snowing, and then I just shovel it all at once, but I was up, so I figured I might as well just shovel. And then shovel a little bit later if I have to, but yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. There are perks and lessons that you can take from it. Most definitely. I learned a lot of things at that warehouse job. You know? Okay. So we did kind of laid out where the windows are going to be in this building here. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shift, and we're going to start working on this van here. Okay, so let me shift the camera this way a bit. There we go. And excuse the crunch again. I've got my Christmas candy satin mix here. All right. So let's grab a bigger brush. Yep. Grab our rag, which I might have to replace soon. This is getting a little too full of paint, and I can't really wash it, so. Oh, it's not awkward at all. Believe me, not awkward at all. When I'm when I'm painting in real life, I actually. I'm glad you agree. Candy is never intolerable. When I'm painting in real life, like I've got my music in my headphones, or I'm listening to a podcast or something, and I'm usually talking to myself while I'm going through it. So actually talking to someone else is actually kind of a very nice change. But yeah, no, it's not awkward at all. What I'm finding most awkward is, like, I've got my computer over here, so I like read the chat and then I respond while looking at the computer, even though my camera's up here. So I gotta get used to that. But no, it's not awkward at all. I enjoy it. All right, so what's gonna be the easiest way to do this? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my white charcoal pencil, and I'm basically going to sketch where I want this thing to be. And my computer's telling me to restart, and I'm not restarting my computer because that would be disastrous for the stream. Okay, so I'm going to grab my laptop here and sketch out this van. So yeah, exactly. Like I hate working in silence too, which is why I usually have like yeah, I'm not going to restart my computer, don't worry. But that's why I have like a podcast in my ears, or I'm listening to music, and then I talk to myself. Like I talk myself through the painting or the drawing, whatever it is that I'm working on. Because yeah, working in silence, I can't do it. When I was in school, like I couldn't study in silence either. Like that, my mind wanders too much if there's just no sound. So okay. So it looks like it actually kind of starts here and then comes down this way. Yeah, I'm not looking for this to be exact with the original photo, but I want to try and get it close. If I can. Okay, so that's the front. I'm going to do the bumper. And bumper kind of comes down here. Oh, that's fair enough. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I was kind of wondering what your process is for digital art, because I've tried digital art a couple of times and I'm not I'm not super great at it. So, and plus I like seeing what other artists' processes are for when they're creating. You know, if you're willing to share. So we got our wheel well here. Comes back to that. That'll be kind of the separation there. Ah, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I like that. And I think that makes sense too. True, true. They will. And I definitely understand having multiple processes depending on what it is that you're working on. Because like I have a different process for painting than I do for a charcoal drawing, for instance. I work through both very differently. So I definitely get that. Okay. So I think it's about this point that the second wheel comes in. And then the back of this van is actually going to be off the back of the painting. So we just go back there and we're fine. Okay, and then the top is easy because that's just a straight line. There we go. Another piece of candy. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Yes, yes. He made an appearance. Like I said, though, I gotta get a new one, because this one, like, it has numbers here, and then just nothing. Because I beat this thing up. And it's, like, all warped, too. Like, I gotta, like, hold it flat if I want, like, a straight line. But, yeah, that process for doing something quick makes sense to me. Like, just, yeah, just the layer for line art, and then the colors and all that. That makes sense. Now, how far down does this go? It goes right down to the window, okay. Or the mirror, I should say. Cool. Yeah, it has seen much better days. But I bought this. It's lasted a pretty long while because I bought this my second year of university, which would have been 2009. So I've had this thing for a while. It's done me well. Oh no, that's not a mirror. What are we doing? That's not a mirror. The mirrors are straight up and down. Now the nice thing about this van being here actually is we get to cover up the fact that I did not paint this a straight line. Like it comes down and then it bends. So that's a benefit of doing stuff in the background first and then covering up with foreground stuff. Yeah, basically right now I'm just outlining in a very rudimentary way what it is that I want to do with this truck. Oh yeah, definitely. That's the one thing that a lot of people who aren't artists don't understand is just how much practice goes into it. I mean, obviously having an eye for it and some talent. Like obviously talent plays a role. You know, some people just have an eye for color or an eye for lighting or an eye for like drawing people. But that also comes with a lot of practice, and a lot of people don't understand the amount of practice that an artist does to like get good at what they do. It's not just pure talent, because you know talent without work is just it's nothing. You know. Oh, don't worry, RB. I'm not getting rid of this. When I do my charcoal drawings, like I usually draw a grid, right? And that requires measurement. So this is probably going to be my strictly painting straight edge. You know, I'm only going to use this with paintings. Whereas with the drawings, I'll use the new ones because I'll actually be able to measure things. Hey, how about you remind me in 4 hours that you want to restart my computer? There we go. Now it'll leave me alone. But yeah, no, don't worry. I'm very much a person where I don't get rid of things like this unless they've completely worn out their use and they're just not usable anymore. So we're definitely not at that stage with this straight edge. No, it's going to be here for a long while yet. Now does that match up with that doorway? Yeah. So I'm gonna have to shift this back a bit. That's okay. We'll put it there. But yeah, if I can still get utility out of something, I don't let it go until it's like broken and I can't fix it. All right, so I think that's good. You did. Okay, so now that that's all painted in, we're gonna do something kind of interesting. And we're just going to paint all of this in white except for here and here. And probably this bumper. And it's going to give us a nice little base layer. You might be saying, but aren't you just painting white on white? And the answer is yes. But this is a little bit darker. So it will be enough for me to tell the difference. And this is just a base layer. This is just allowing me to know where the borders are for this vehicle. And actually, when all is said and done, the vehicle is actually going to be darker than the actual sky. Like you'll be able, there's going to be a tangible difference. And I think I've called this thing a truck a bunch, even though I called it a van. in my title, but we just won't pay any attention to that. We'll pretend like I didn't do that. Yeah, so this is going to be just a messy base layer upon which we will actually make some decisions. Oh, okay. That's good. Sometimes, like, even though I have the stream running and all that, fair. It is really. Yeah, even though I have like I can see in the camera and I can see here, sometimes I'm not sure how things come across on other people's computers or like how it's broadcasting. So I'm glad that you can tell the difference. But yeah, English is crazy subjective. Which makes it fun, but I'm so glad that I didn't have to learn how to speak English, like, as a second language, because, my goodness. I applaud anybody who has the ability to do that. One thing I don't understand, I've never understood it, is people who make fun of people who, like, mess up when they're speaking English and it's clear that English is their second language, because it's like, dude, like, they may not be the most fluent in English, but they can speak 2 languages, you know? I only speak 1, and I don't even speak English that good. to quote Muhammad Ali. He did a fight in what was then Zaire, the Rumble in the Jungle, back in the 1970s. I think it was 74. And he was talking about how the African continent as a whole and the people of what's now the Democratic Republic of the Congo, how wonderful they are, especially because they speak like, I think the way he put it was, oh, they speak English, they speak French, they speak African. We don't even speak English good. Which is a fair point, you know? Yeah, I noticed that, like, just because of the lighting. I think I might get a ring light eventually, just to kind of hopefully even out some of the lighting. But, yeah, see, we learned how to speak, well, we didn't learn how to speak French, we were taught French in school for the longest time. And then I stopped taking French in grade 9, which I wish I hadn't, because my girlfriend and her family, a bunch of them speak French. They're Canadian, but on her mother's side, they're French-Canadian. And all of them can speak French. And her dad can, like, speak some Dutch. And I just marvel at it. Especially when they're talking, they just switch back and forth from French to English. Like, it's mind-blowing. You know? Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I've tried Duolingo a couple of times, and I really should just stick with it. But it's so difficult to try and like learn a new language. How are we doing here? Oh my goodness, we've been doing this for an hour already? Goodness. Yeah. In my hometown, there was like a French community just like 15 minutes out of town. My maternal grandmother was actually from there, But the only French that I know is like bonjour and je m'appelle TJ. That's about it. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, you know, living in the GTA, like there's so many different languages you hear every day. Just going to the mall here, it's kind of amazing. Yeah, yeah. One of the things that I've seen before, speaking to like, you know, seeing an apple and like knowing it in that they understand it two ways was like whenever they ask like bilingual people what language they think in, you know, or what voice their inner monologue is in, you know. That's fair. I know I liked learning French a lot more in elementary school than I did in high school. In high school, I just kind of lost interest because I discovered other interests that were, you know, more. Plus, like, unfortunately in my high school, like, you could only pick so many classes, right? So in terms of the arts, it was like, okay, you're either doing languages, or you're doing visual arts, or you're doing music, or you're doing drama, or you're doing gym. Like, you gotta pick one of the five. So I went with visual arts. We're almost done blocking in this this van here, and then we'll move on to some detail work. Yep, yep. Like in grade 9, we were allowed to do 2. Actually, we had to do gym, and then we were allowed to do 2. So I picked French and art. And then after grade 9, they're like, okay, you can only pick 1. So it was like, well, that's pretty easy. I'm gonna go with art, thanks. Plus, I really liked our art teacher. Oh, yeah, they've asked bilingual people, like, what language they think in and what their internal monologue is, and even that varies from person to person. Like, there was an interview someone did with someone who spoke Italian, and their inner monologue is Italian, but they actually think in English, which I thought was just amazing. That they could like differentiate like that. And some people it's very similar, like their inner voice, like their internal voice is the same as the language they were brought up speaking before they learned another one. Some people it changes right after they learn a new language. They do everything in that language, even though their first language you would think would be the predominant one. But And then it's really interesting to find out that like some people don't have an internal monologue or an internal voice, you know. That blew my mind when I first learned about that, because it's like I can't get mine to shut up. And some people just don't have it at all. Just like some people can't form. My dad actually has this. I think it's aphasia, where like you can't actually visualize something in your mind. Like you can't paint a picture with your mind. Like you just can't picture anything. Like they say, like, you know, like picture a snowy forest, and they can't. Which that astounds me. Is very interesting. All right, almost done here. Brains are a funny thing. They're really cool and also kind of terrifying at the same time. Oh yeah, same. Like I can understand the benefits of not being able to do that, but yeah, no, I would much rather. True. Actually, it's funny. I haven't had like a bad dream, like a nightmare, like a true nightmare in a very long time, thankfully. What I have instead, like, just my dreams are really, really weird. Where there are some parts of it that are nightmarish, but some parts that are funny, you know, like, I've had some dreams where I've, like, woken up laughing. But the one thing that is constant is, whatever type of dream I'm having, if a train shows up in my dream, nothing good is going to happen. Like, for some reason, when I dream and there's a train involved, just nothing good happens. Which is interesting because, like, I actually like trains. I used trains all the time when I was in university to, like, go back to my hometown and all that. So I don't have a problem with trains, but for some reason, in my dream space, they're just, it's very foreboding for a bad omen. Like, just something bad's gonna happen. But yeah, sometimes it would be nice not to dream. Here's a question for you, because you're a fellow artist. Would you rather go deaf or would you rather go blind? Because someone asked me that once because they found out I was an artist and they were just curious if I'd rather go deaf or blind. Yeah, it's kind of. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah, my dreams play out like stories. That's a good way to put it, actually. Okay. So we got the base layer down here. and we're gonna let this dry for a second. So while we let that dry, I'm going to sorry, I'm just thinking a bunch of different things at once. Here. While this dries for a bit, I'm going to just go grab a glass of water. And unfortunately, I can't play music from my actual desktop audio on the computer that I'm streaming from. So I'm not going to put up the be right back screen because that requires desktop audio. So you just get to look at this while I go get a drink. But I'll be back in like 2 minutes or so. Like, it won't be long. Yeah, actually, a lot of people answer deaf. I think, honestly, as weird as it is, I think I'd rather go blind. Because, like, I just love music too much. Like, obviously, I love art, but I love music. I absolutely love music. And it would sadden me not to be able to see my own stuff and not be able to see other people's stuff, but I couldn't bear not being able to hear my favorite bands. Like, my sister sings, like, not being able to hear her, not being able to, like, hear my girlfriend, not being able to hear all of that. Like, plus, I think I could make bank being a blind artist, because I would just do, like, crazy abstract stuff, you know. I'd have no idea how it looks, but I think I could market that a little better. Like, I could find a way to work it. But yeah, I think I would rather go deaf myself, or rather go blind myself, and keep my hearing, you know, which again is weird for an artist to say, but yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna go grab some water. Yeah. So I will be right back.
I'm thinking that some things might change.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, my bye did kind of fade into the distance there, didn't it? But yeah, I'm glad you find it thought provoking. Yeah, it's just like obviously I wouldn't want to do either. I'm not the kind of person where I would treat any like it's a crazy disability, because I mean there's a lot of people who are deaf. I have a cousin who's deaf, and he definitely doesn't treat his deafness like it's a disability, and I don't think I have that proclivity either. But if given the choice between the two, I would definitely rather lose my sight. Plus I don't have to worry about driving anymore, and I love driving, but commuting to work and dealing with traffic, like, at least I wouldn't have to, like, physically do it, you know? Yeah, it is, it does make it interesting to think about when, livelihoods are involved. Alright, so, I imagine this isn't completely dry yet, but that's okay. That's okay. What we're going to start with, I think, is doing some details in these windows. Also, hello. I'm back. Glad y'all are still with us. So I'm going to need a couple of brushes. I'm going to need my flat head. Then I'm going to need like a small detailing brush. Actually, do I have that other one that has more of the point to it? Is that somewhere? Nope. It's the one that I grabbed. Alright. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Alright. So, we're going to work in this window first. So let's get started on that. What are we looking at here? Oh, actually, you know what? I just thought of something. Hey, Sputnik Clock, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Wouldn't that be something if like something happened to me on the way to get a glass of water and the stream just went on continuously? So I just had a thought. I see in the photo there's actually some trees here in front of this. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to paint some trees. Which is okay, because again, this is just kind of all rudimentary and I can paint over it. So I'm going to paint some trees in the background here, like where these buildings are. And we're going to start with that first. You always have all these plans for what you're going to do next. And then it's like, oh no, wait. But yeah, Sputnik Klop, how's your day going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's true. It's funny, I didn't really watch Bob Ross growing up. What I watched was there's a program in Canada called TVO Kids. Like it's the channel TVO had like kids programming. So I always watched this show Art Attack. And Art Attack, I loved that show. There was the host was this guy named Neil Buchanan. He's a British guy. And he always did the coolest stuff. So he was always my answer. I didn't know Bob Ross existed until I got to university, and his videos were on YouTube. As a matter of fact, so Yeah, but I loved this show, Art Attack. Art Attack was my favorite show. When I was like young. Ah, Danny VDB, welcome to the chat. Yes. I'm glad you agree. And then you grow up and you learn that Neil Buchanan was actually in like a punk band. You know, which is just fun. But yeah, Art Attack was amazing. And then when he did like his big Art Attacks, oh, those were something else. Like he got a whole bunch of like dollar bills, like they were American dollar bills, and like he did a portrait of the Queen with it. I remember that. He did a picture of Santa using lights and skyscrapers in like downtown Chicago or something like that. Or maybe it was New York. He did a portrait of something with like just what was it? Salt that he just poured from a can. Like his whole thing with the big Art Attacks was that you can make art out of anything. So fair enough. Yeah, like I wish I would have known about Bob Ross when I was younger. I still can't believe that dude was in the military. And was like a commander or a sergeant or something. Like he was... We're just going to throw some trees in here that are going to come through through the windows. Well, you're going to see them through the windows. They're not coming through the windows. That would be a different painting. But Danny, I hope your day's going well. I hope you guys are like. Has that rainstorm hit you guys yet? Or the winter storm? Because I saw a bit of it on the Weather Network. Wasn't sure if it's hit you guys. Yeah, he was in the military. It's crazy to think about, isn't it? Fair. Well, I'm glad that you're not getting like the worst of it. That's good. But yeah, if it's any consolation, it's cold here too. Yeah, no, that's not fun at all. It's snowing a bunch here today. Well, last night, and it's continuing on today. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Every single time I paint, at some point or another, I lose track of where the paint is on my palette, and I just stick my finger in some paint, and we just got some red paint on ourselves. So, that's the first one of the day. Maybe, I don't know, we got about 33 minutes left. Maybe it'll be the last, but I'm not counting on it. Yeah. Thankfully, yeah, blood. No, thankfully it's not like super duper cold here. It's just snowy. Well, I should say it's not super duper cold yet. I'm sure it's coming. But all right. But yeah, it never fails. Every single time I paint, I get paint on my hands because I just put my finger down and it's like, oh yeah, there's paint there. Just like every single time that I play basketball, I end up jamming my finger at some point on the basketball, which is just about as fun as it sounds. So these trees in this window are going to be a little bit more faded. Just because they're going to be through another pane of glass. So they're going to be a little bit faded. So, and it's also going to have a little less detail to it. So let me lighten that up a bit too. Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's crazy out there with the landslides and yeah. No, that's it's scary what's happening out there. I'll gladly just take it being a little bit slow. Well, hopefully it's not. I hope it's not. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. Like it kind of highlights just how fragile everything is. Sort of like how the pandemic, when it first started, kind of showed just how fragile society can be in a disaster, like in a time of disaster. Okay, so I think that's good for. I think that's good for the trees. Actually, I'm going to fade out these ones at the top just a little bit more. Maybe not that light. Oop. Drop my paintbrush. There we go. Alright. So, now we're going to just wash that brush off. And then we're going to start on some of the details. Yep. Oh yeah, that's fair enough. I've always kind of wanted to visit Vancouver, but yeah, it's crazy how ill prepared we are on the whole for a lot of things that are, really not that distant a threat when you think about it. So now I'm just kind of closing in these spaces again, because I just kind of painted over them for the trees. So now we're just throwing this in. There we go. And maybe just a little bit more here. There we go. All right. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it took a bunch of people by surprise. But, you know, hopefully it just means that we'll be better prepared later. Hey, it's all right. It's all right. I mean, it's a thing that's happening, you know. It's you can't really shy away from it. It's all good. Sorry, I'm just checking something on my other computer because something just popped up over my reference image. So just bear with me for a second. Alright, what is this? Oh, okay. Yeah. Just bear with me 1 second. I gotta fix this thing on this computer. Old laptops are fun sometimes. Okay. And alright, there we go. Sorry about that, but we got it fixed. Okay, so now we're gonna go in and paint some of the details on this thing. No? No? Why is that? So this is just going to be a lot of small detail work that, yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, why don't you like working on computers? Just out of curiosity. brush is flaring out on me. I gotta grab another one. Ooh. Off camera there, I almost dropped my palette on the floor, which would have been quite the mess to clean up, because you know it wouldn't have landed right side up. But we averted disaster there. All right. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah, it is a different type of logic. I can't say that I like working on computers. What I do like is I like figuring out problems. I like yeah, I like figuring out if I can like solve something myself. So I like it in that respect, for the same reason that I like working on my car. Like, I don't like that something went wrong, and it can be kind of a pain, but I do get somewhat of a satisfaction of, you know, figuring out what happened and knowing that I can fix it myself is always kind of satisfying. But I definitely see where you're coming from. What I found too with that kind of stuff is that I'm not even so much good at working on stuff like that. I'm just really good at Googling. Googling what's wrong and what the solutions are. Like, I'm gonna have to Google afterwards and see why this laptop that I'm have OBS on, why it just flat out decided to stop playing audio. Exactly. Although, like, I've seen it in webcomics before, I've seen it, like, all over the place, but there's very few things that are as frustrating as finding out that someone asked the exact question that you're looking for, but it's a really old thread, like 3 or 4 years old, and the only resolution is the person went, "Oh, I figured it out," with absolutely no explanation. Or it's a 3 or 4 year old thread, and there's no answers whatsoever. Like, there's just 0 comments. That's also aggravating, because it's like, no, I need y'all to help me figure this out. So right now we're just painting a frame around this window that I'm going to have to clean up a little bit. But it's just one of those days where my brushes aren't cooperating with me. Which I know doesn't sound like it makes a whole lot of sense, but it does. Trust me. Basically what's happening is sometimes when you leave brushes in water too long, they'll start to flare out. Let me see if I can find a good example. Like this one. Yeah, sometimes you leave brushes in water too long, or you're a little too vigorous in cleaning them off. They'll start kind of like flaying like that. And what you can do, because I haven't yet found a way to like get them back in place. But what you can do is you can take like a razor blade or like scissors and just like cut those off. But I have neither of those tools with me right now. And this brush, it's behaving a little more with the paint on it, but it's starting to do the same thing. So it's just not... actually, it's doing it more this way. Like, this is supposed to be a flat head brush, but it's starting to, like, round out. Like, that's supposed to be completely flat, like a line. And it's not. So, that's what I mean by, yeah, the brushes aren't cooperating with me. But that's okay. That's okay. They're not paid to. So we'll just fix up those edges later. In the meantime, we'll continue working within this window. Yeah. A lot of, in terms of like, you know, how to take care of brushes and all that kind of stuff, a lot of this channel so far has been do as I say, not as I do, which isn't the best policy, but I don't take the best care of my brushes. I really should, but maybe one day I'll learn. Yeah, it's starting to round out. Alright, so we'll start working within this window a bit. So, what do we got here? Well, we've got the other side of the truck, or van, right here. So, we'll just paint this in, because you're getting a little window into the cab of the van. And now we'll do a little extra detail. All right, we're getting there. This is getting there. Ah, come on now. Go. All right. What else? Yeah, that's with this series. That's I'm glad you're looking forward to it, because that's my favorite part of these paintings, is getting to that. It will be coming soon. Like, as soon as we finish this van, like, I'm probably going to start that process, because there's really not too much more detail that I need to do on this building, especially since most of what we would need to do detail-wise is being covered up. I still might do some stuff, but by and large, a lot of the fine detailing stuff, once this van is done, will be over with, and we can start moving on to fun stuff like that. And that will probably be like the next session we do will probably be finishing off this van. And then we might even be able to start that process in the next session. I don't want to make any promises, because who knows. But from what I'm seeing of what I have left to do with this painting before we get to that process, I think it'll be the next session or two that will actually get to the abstraction. Let's see. Okay. Look at that. There's something like coming down here that's lighter. And then I think there's a seat here and coming out here. And then we'll just darken up that area in there to make that stand out some more. Well, I'm glad you find it calming. I marvel at people who like do stuff like this, like stream and all that, and they're like constantly high energy. I marvel at them. I am definitely not. I am not that person. I don't think I could even pretend to be. My girlfriend is very high energy, and I don't know how she does it. So we're just finishing up with some of the details in this window, in the cab of the truck. I feel like I need to start a tally of the number of times that I alternate between truck and van. Alright, so we'll curve that line just a little bit more. we've got couple of lines here. In the center of the window. Then we've got another one back here. It's a little bit thinner. That's probably the opposite window. All right, and let's see. Yeah, that's probably exactly what it is, RB. Also, yeah, feel free to keep track of that in your notes. I'm sure it'll keep you very busy. All right, so I'll show you what we did here, and I might go in and like do a few finer details as time progresses, but I'll just bring this over. So now, there we go. So that's the interior of our window. So you see like there's some stuff here, there's something there, there's probably a seat here. It's hard to tell from the reference image, but I think that's what that is. But yeah, this is what we're looking at. And you can see here, like I said, like I'm probably going to lighten this up too to match this, but because that's through two different windows, it's a little more faded, a little more muted colors than we have with the trees here and over here. So yeah, we're moving along pretty well actually. And then here, I'll try to back up here and get the camera in the right spot. And this is our painting as a whole so far. So it's slowly but surely coming together. It's piecing its way together. You know, it's doing it. We're doing it. Thank you, and no problem, RB. Actually, I'll be wrapping up here like within the next couple of minutes because I've got some stuff to do later today. Like, actually, like given the time, like I don't think I even have time to like try to raid somebody. So yeah, because I've got to. I kind of moved some stuff around so I could get some stuff done this afternoon, and one of the things I want to start doing around like 1:15, so to wrap all this up and get that ready, it's going to probably take right till then. So I might actually wrap this up now. We're a little bit early, but it's close enough. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out. I hope you all have a... Oh yeah, go ahead, ask the question. We've got time for a question. Yeah. While we're waiting for the question, yeah, here's just the painting as we've got it so far. It's coming together. Now we've got something in this space that was just like blank before. A lot of this is going to be blank space with some stuff coming up above the van, but that's all right. But yeah, feel free to ask the question. Oh, that's my girlfriend. She's got a meeting right now with some of her schoolmates because she's doing her she's working on her MBA. So yeah, she's just in a meeting. Sometimes she'll be out there doing a Zoom workout with some of her Dragon Boat team because she leads workouts. Sometimes she'll be watching a movie. She usually clicks in, so that there's like an extra viewer here. But with her meeting, like she didn't want to use up too much bandwidth, so yeah, that's just her. But yeah, that's those are the voices. I feel like it kind of goes with the music a little bit, just a tiny bit. But yeah, with that, I think we're gonna call it here because I've got some stuff that I gotta go do. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we're gonna be back here on. I hate the way this sweater bunches up sometimes. We're going to be back here on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, because today's Sunday. We're going to be back Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. or so. It'll start at 6, and that's Eastern Standard Time. I think that's like UTC 5 or something for international viewers. But yeah, we're going to be back here Tuesday working on this, hopefully finishing up the van, and then we can start doing some abstraction, which is going to be fun. So yeah, it was great talking to you all today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And Soul C, I like it. But yeah, good to see you all, and we will catch you on Tuesday. Have a great one.